It begins quietly, a closet door that no longer clicks shut, held slightly ajar by a lifetime of silent accumulations. It stands not as a simple piece of furniture, but as a physical record of every version of you that ever was. The ambitious professional, the young parent, the hopeful hobbyist. After 60, this space transforms. It's no longer just a place for clothes. It becomes a silent portrait of the decades lived, each hanger holding not just fabric, but a memory, an obligation, or a regret. You stand before it, feeling a unique kind of paralysis. The desire for a simpler, lighter life is real, a constant hum in the back of your mind. Yet, it is at war with the sheer emotional weight of the past. A past so tangible you can feel its pressure pushing back against the door. This isn't laziness. It's a quiet, daily battle between the person you were and the person you now have the chance to be. The weight of it all is exhausting, and the thought of starting feels like trying to move a mountain with your bare hands. That quiet battle, however, is not without its consequences. Procrastination feels like a neutral act, a decision you can make tomorrow. But it is not. It is an active choice that carries a hidden, compounding cost. Every box left on the floor is a potential fall in the making. Every overstuffed shelf makes cleaning a monumental task, slowly chipping away at the ease and safety of your own home. This clutter, left unchecked, becomes a clear and present danger to the one thing you value most, your independence. There is an unspoken fear that haunts the quiet moments, the dread of becoming a burden, the horror of imagining someone else, a child or a stranger, having to one day sort through your life, making decisions for you. This video is not about organizing. It is a direct response to that fear. This is about taking back control, about making a series of powerful, strategic decisions now, while you have the energy and clarity to do so. This is about protecting your future, your dignity, and your autonomy, one deliberate choice at a time. That closet door is a gateway, and on the other side is a conversation you have been avoiding with yourself. Each item you touch triggers a silent, exhausting negotiation. Aunt Carol gave me this, you think, and the object is no longer a simple sweater. It is a symbol of love, and getting rid of it feels like a betrayal. I might need this one day, your mind whispers, as you hold a suit for a life you no longer lead, and the fear of future regret paralyzes you. This is the guilt of the survivor, the one left holding the artifacts of a full life. You are the curator of a museum where every exhibit is a memory. But a curator's job is to preserve the past, and you are trying to live in the present. This attachment feels like love, but it has become an anchor, holding you in a harbor of yesterday, while the tide of your current life tries to pull you forward. The conflict is not in the closet, it's inside you, a quiet, daily war between loyalty to what was and the need for what must be. This internal war has an external battlefield, your home. It has slowly transformed from a sanctuary into a physical ledger of procrastination. Every pile of papers is a stack of unmade decisions. Every box of maybes is a future you've postponed. And in the middle of it all, you stand, fiercely guarding your privacy, because asking for help feels like the ultimate defeat. It feels like admitting you have lost control, that you are no longer the capable, self-sufficient person you have always been. This fear of appearing weak or dependent is a powerful silencer. It convinces you to live in a space that no longer serves you, rather than face the perceived shame of needing assistance. Your home becomes a secret keeper, its cluttered corners hiding not just things, but your deep, private fear that the life you built has somehow become bigger than your ability to manage it. This is not just a house. It's the architecture of your avoidance. The slow, creeping cost of this avoidance is the erosion of your own identity. The person who loved to host dinner parties can't, because the dining table has become a storage surface. The person who wanted to take up painting has no clear space to set up an easel. The clutter doesn't just take up physical room, it silently suffocates the person you are now and the person you could still become. Your home, which should be a reflection of your inner peace, has become a mirror of your inner turmoil. It is a constant, low-grade source of stress that drains your energy before the day has even begun. You begin to define yourself by your limitations instead of your possibilities. The problem is not the stuff. The problem is that the stuff has been allowed to tell you who you are. The real work, the brave work, is deciding that you get to write the next chapter of that story, not the ghosts of hobbies past or the close for a life already lived. The breaking point is never a dramatic explosion, but a quiet, chilling snap of awareness. It might be a near fall over a box of forgotten papers, a moment where the floor, your own floor, suddenly feels like hostile territory. In that split second, the abstract fear becomes a concrete reality. The what if becomes, what if today? Suddenly, the polite, patient procrastination is revealed for what it truly is, a gamble you are losing. You look at the packed shelves, the crowded corners, and you no longer see memories, you see liabilities. You see the future you have been dreading, a future where your home is a problem for someone else to solve. But a decision without a plan is just a wish, and the sheer scale of the task threatens to pull you back under the tide of overwhelm. This is where you stop thinking about the mountain and focus on the first step. You need a method, a clear, logical system that is not about aesthetics, but about strategy. This is the beginning of the Independence Edit. We are not going to attack the entire house. We are going to address 12 specific, high-impact categories of clutter. The 12 categories of liberation that are silently eroding your autonomy. This is a targeted approach, a surgical strike designed to reclaim the most critical resource you have, your physical and mental space. This isn't about creating a minimalist utopia. It's a practical, no excuses framework for future-proofing your life. It is the tactical guide that turns your decision into action, ensuring that the next chapter of your life is written by you and you alone, in a space that serves and protects the person you are today. We begin with Category 1, the just-in-case formal wear. This is the suit for a wedding you will not attend, the dress for a gala that is no longer on your calendar. It hangs there, often in protective plastic, like a museum piece from another life. The psychological block is powerful. This garment represents a more formal, perhaps more vibrant version of yourself. To let it go feels like admitting that part of your life is over. But here is the hidden cost. It occupies the most valuable real estate in your closet, and, more importantly, in your mind. It is a silent, daily reminder of a life you are no longer living, instead of celebrating the one you have now. The micro-victory here is profound. Apply the future self test. Would the healthy, independent person you want to be 5 years from now go out and buy this item today? If the answer is no, then its purpose is served. Releasing it is not an act of resignation. It is a powerful declaration that you are dressing for the life you have, a life that values comfort, ease, and the freedom of today. Next is Category 2, the ghosts of hobbies past. This is the half-finished knitting project, the expensive camera equipment that has become too heavy, the woodworking tools gathering dust. We keep these things not because we will ever use them again, but because of the guilt associated with the investment of time and money, and the quiet shame of an abandoned passion. They are not just objects. They are monuments to our own perceived failures. But that promise of one day has become a burden. This is where we apply the rule of closing the loop. If a project has sat untouched for more than a year, it is no longer an opportunity. It is a source of low-grade psychic drain. Its potential has expired. The true cost of keeping it is the space, physical and mental, that it steals from a new passion that might actually fit your life today. The liberation here is releasing yourself from the obligation to be a person you are not. It's giving yourself permission to have changed, to have evolved, and to use your precious energy on what brings you joy and fulfillment now, not 10 years ago. This brings us to one of the most difficult. Category 3, the artifacts of obligation. This is the vase from a distant cousin, the scratchy sweater from a well-meaning friend, the serving platter you have never used but was a wedding gift from decades ago. These items are tangled in a web of love and duty. The psychological block is the fear that letting go of the object is a rejection of the person who gave it to you. This is where we practice the guilt-free release. You must consciously separate the object from the memory. The love is in your heart, not in the porcelain. The hidden cost of keeping these things is immense. They clutter your home with someone else's taste and force you to navigate a space that is not truly your own. The giver's intention was to bring you joy, not to burden you with a lifetime of storage. Honoring their love means creating a home that gives you peace. You are not throwing away their affection. You are simply releasing the physical placeholder for it. And in doing so, you reclaim your home as a sanctuary for you. These first categories address the physical clutter, the ghosts of past identities. We are clearing the land. But the work we do from here goes deeper. The next set of categories is harder because it is about excavating your emotional space, confronting the fears that have kept you frozen. The items we will address next are not just about what was. They are about your fear of what is to come. And pay close attention as we move forward, because the final category, number 12, is the one that truly separates those who remain stuck in a life defined by their possessions from those who break free to architect their future. Before we continue, look at your own space. Ask yourself honestly, what chapter of your life is your closet forcing you to relive every single morning? The answer to that question is the key to unlocking the next level of your own liberation. This is where the real transformation begins. Now we arrive at category 4, the paper trail of a life. These are the mountains of old bank statements, expired insurance policies, tax returns from a decade ago, and letters you've kept for reasons you no longer remember. The resistance here is subtle but powerful. It is the fear of making a mistake, of throwing away the one document you might suddenly need. But beneath that practical fear lies a deeper emotional exhaustion. Sifting through these papers forces you to audit your entire adult life. Every major decision, every financial struggle, every responsibility you shouldered. It is a heavy, thankless task. The cost of this avoidance is not just the physical space these stacks consume, but the low-grade anxiety they produce, a constant, humming reminder of unfinished business. Here we apply the 7-year sunset rule. unless it is a vital life document like a will, deed, or birth certificate. If you have not needed to reference it in 7 years, its purpose is fulfilled. You are not deleting your history. You are closing the administrative loops of the past so you can finally be present. This leads us to the most sacred and difficult space, Category 5, the echoes of a shared life. This is his side of the closet, still holding the scent of his favorite sweater. It's the collection of books you once read together, the tools from his workshop, the artifacts of a life lived in partnership. To touch these items feels like trespassing on holy ground. The psychological block is absolute. Letting go feels like a second loss, a betrayal of the promise to never forget. You are not just the keeper of objects, you are the keeper of a legacy. But the hidden, heartbreaking cost is that your home has become a memorial, a perfectly preserved shrine to a life that is no longer, leaving little room for the life that still is. Here, the work requires not ruthlessness, but reverence. We create a legacy box. You do not have to discard everything. Instead, you choose the few items that most purely represent the love and the life you shared. This act is not about erasure. It is about curation. It is about building a small, beautiful altar to memory, so that the rest of your home can once again become a sanctuary for the living. You have given them the greatest gift of all, the peace of mind that comes from knowing you are in control, living safely and with dignity in a space that you command. Now, the next chapter is no longer an abstract concept. It is a tangible reality waiting to be written. With the physical and mental space you have created, the question shifts from, what do I need to get rid of, to, what do I want to bring in? Perhaps it is an easel and paints, finally placed in the corner that was once occupied by boxes of old papers. Perhaps it is the freedom to host friends for dinner, with a dining table that is finally clear and inviting. It is the simple joy of getting dressed in the morning from a closet that contains only things that make you feel good today. This is a chapter defined not by obligation to the past, but by opportunity in the present. It is a chapter of purpose, where your time and energy are invested in what matters to you now, not in managing the artifacts of a life already lived. You have earned this freedom. You have built the stage for it, one deliberate decision at a time. Ultimately, the clean closets and clear surfaces are just the evidence of the true victory. The real triumph happened in the moment you decided that your future was more important than your past, that your independence was non-negotiable, and that you and you alone would be the one to secure it. This entire process was an act of profound self-respect. It was the definitive statement that you are worthy of a home that brings you peace, a life that is not encumbered by yesterday, and a future that you will meet on your own terms. You did not just organize your belongings. You looked at the creeping threat of dependence, the quiet fear of becoming a burden, and you met it with courage, strategy, and action. You stand now not just in a cleaner house, but in a life of your own design, with the quiet, unshakable dignity of someone who is taking control of their own destiny. Your next chapter has already begun.